Hello, I'd like to talk about Fatal Frame, which I think is a really amazing and terrifying horror game. So in Fatal Frame 1, you are a young girl and you're looking for your brother and you're exploring this mansion, and the mansion has dark secrets, all sort of, well, at least I assume it's sort of like Japanese style mythos for ghosts and things like that. But it is really amazing how high tension it is. Like, just exploring the mansion, I feel so um, vulnerable, so scared, and they have some really great jump scares and sort of interesting combat where you have to take pictures of ghosts. But I think it's really amazing, and Fatal Frame 1, I think, was a bit scarier than Fatal Frame 2. I think Fatal Frame 2 is a better game overall. They have better art, more interesting settings in the story, and things like that. But Fatal Frame 1 just, for me, was super tense, and everything was super creepy and super scary, I guess. And so certainly we're trying to draw inspiration on that for Neverending Nightmares. They had a mansion. We have a mansion, and the layout was really interesting, and they did a really good job of basically limiting the world and then sort of reusing it and then adding rooms and expanding it, and they had sort of these night so it's like first night and second night, and then different things, you have to do different things on each night. And so I think that's definitely helpful for us in terms of how we can structure our content, and how we can sort of reuse the mansion. Certainly in Neverending Nightmares, we're not only going to have the mansion, but it's definitely going to be a key location. And in general, we're trying to keep the number of locations small, just because I think, well, we have a small team, and I think we're picking locations that can give us a lot of good scares, a lot of reuse, but then we don't have to, make all these different worlds. We can focus on, polishing up different aspects of it, and we can rearrange them as we see fit, because hell, you're in a nightmare. Anything can happen. But it's difficult for me to say what is so tense about Fatal Frame or Silent Hill 2, because well, a lot of the Silent Hills, but it's like, for certain games, the atmosphere is just so good that you feel instantly tense. Like, I enjoyed Outlast a lot, but I didn't feel that constant tension just from the atmosphere. I really loved the IR things and the camera. That was a really good touch. But the atmosphere just didn't have that oppressive atmosphere, and I'm not really sure what it takes to create that, how they succeeded so well in Silent Hill and Fatal Frame. But it's definitely something we strive to achieve, and certainly I think a lot of people have really commented on the atmosphere of Neverending Nightmares. And so I think we do have a good atmosphere, and we're already sort of in that class of games that can ratchet up the tension just by walking around, because that's sort of our goal, is to, we're going to have enemies working on that, and we're going to have more things and jump scares. I love Fatal Frame. They have great jump scares. I think that is sort of the best jump scary game I've played. But just the idea that walking around in and of itself can be really tense is I think important, because again, that tension is where your imagination runs wild. It's where you envision all these things that are perhaps more horrible than what the game will actually deliver on. It's where your fears manifest. So that's really important to me. If you haven't played Fatal Frame, I'd recommend checking it out. I think Fatal Frame 2 and 3 are available for download on PlayStation 3, unless you have a PS2 or Xbox. 1 and 2 are for Xbox and PS2. The Xbox versions are like director's cuts, which are the ones I've played. I don't know if they're backwards compatible on the 360. Maybe. I think there are a few bugs, actually, but I don't know. Might mostly work for you. I think I played them on the original Xbox just to avoid the bugs. And then 2 and 3. 3 was PS2 only, and now is on PlayStation 3. I've actually only played 1 and 2. 4 was made by, I think, Grasshopper Manufacturer in Japan only on the Wii. But certainly I'm potentially interested in playing the rest at some point. So maybe it's worth checking out.